Good.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Nadine. Really nice.
Yes. Yes. So I told people that you are an expert for Abraham Hicks and that I so admire you and I learned so much from you about the receiving mode. Perhaps just introduce yourself. Who are you and what's so magical about you?
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here with you. So it's really nice. Such a pleasure. And yeah, I live in the Netherlands. My name is Liesbeth Schneider. I live in the Netherlands and I have been a project manager for quite some time. I work a lot of time for the Dutch government as a consultant. And yes, Abraham Hicks is absolutely one of my favorite teachers all times. And I listened to her like more than 10 years now. And for the last, since COVID, I listen even more to her because now she's gone online. And before it was all it was just live sessions in America. So I couldn't attend all of those. But now most of it is online. So recently even more. But yes, she's indeed one of my biggest inspirations. And of course, Bob Proctor as well, because he's also really great inspiration. But yeah, both of them, I combine those teachings together and it's really nice, really beautiful, yeah.
So what brought you to her? What's so special?
Yeah, I think it was the law of attraction that really brought me her into my life, because there was a time that I had a burnout a long time ago, because I always worked for myself. I have my own business, my own company. And a lot of years ago when I just started my first company, there was just a lot of pressure on me because I had only 24 hours in the day, just like everyone else. And I wanted to do as much as possible because I thought if I work more hours, then I get more money. And in that time of my life, my awareness wasn't bigger, that I could think bigger, like Bob Proctor teaches us, like to think bigger. And so at that point, I just thought, okay, I have 24 hours. What am I going to do? And I wanted more clients and more money. So I worked really hard. And at one point, I was also studying. So I was doing an MBA in marketing and economics. And when I finished my MBA, I just went straight into a burnout. And during that time, I was thinking, like, when I was recovering from a burnout, I thought there must be another way to do this. I mean, it can be life that you just have to work so hard. And I thought, yeah, there must be another way. And somehow I just started to read. And then one day I was listening to Oprah, like Soul Sessions Oprah. And she had Esther Hicks on one of her soul sessions. And so then I heard for the first time Esther Hicks, and it clicked right away. I thought, what is that? I need to know more of it. So I went to the library and I saw the book of her, Ask and It Is Given. That was the very first book I ever read of her. And it was just a great, great book. And since then I just went online on YouTube and find so much information on YouTube. There's so much information about her. So yeah, from that point on, everything she says resonates really well with me. So I knew that for me, she's such an inspiration, yeah.
So I knew her also before, but actually through you, I really got back to really listen and deeply listen to what she's saying. And so one of the things that stood out for me is the receiving mode. And if we take a scale from 1 to 100, how open I was to receive. So I guess it was before about 10, and now I'm at about 40 to 60, wow. Depends on which issue. We will go into this as well. Yeah. And there is so much more, so much to relax. And always when I can relax, it just feels so good. Yes. Sometimes we feel we have to hold on to certainty, hold on to the known, hold on to things that we know, even if it doesn't really work. So how would you suggest to just open up to be in the receiving mode?
Yeah, I always like Abraham Hicks, how she tells how we create. For example, you can create by default, or you can deliberate creation. And then in her book, Ask and It Is Given, she has these steps for deliberate creation. And then she said, like, the first step in deliberate creation is that you ask. And you ask because life is given all those things to you, maybe things you don't like. So for example, if you experience something in your life at the moment that you don't like, then at the same time that you witness something you don't like, you set off a rocket of desire. Like, okay, for example, if you have a shortness of money, then your awareness of the shortness of money, in the same time you're saying, I want more money. So at that point, you just set off a rocket of desire, and she names that is the first step. And then the second step is the moment that you ask something, source gives it to you. So the moment you ask, I want more money, or I want a better relationship, or I want the big house, or I want to feel healthy again, or I want to feel successful, I want to have more time in my business and spend with my family. The same time you ask, then it is given, source gives it. So you don't have to do anything. So step one is ask, and step two is source gives, and step three is you let it in. And that is what you talk about, like the receiving mode, like that you're letting in. Because if you keep saying, I don't have the money, I don't have the money, then you stay in step one, and then you can't hear what source is leading you to the way of your path of least resistance. And I love that how she talks about that, like the path of least resistance, because it is so beautiful, because we often are so taught that you have to work hard to accomplish something, and you have to always keep busy. But she just so let it see, like, just trust the universe, just trust your higher self, like that you have a higher self. That is the concept that she tells, like that you have a higher self, and that we are source energy in this body, but we are still connected to source, and our higher self knows exactly where we are in relationship to where we want to be, because everything we always asked is already heard and given. So if you let go, you can hear the path, you can hear that little voice inside that say, come this way, come this way. She always mentions it like that. I love that so much. And sometimes when you are in circumstances and then you think like, yes, I want to go that way, but can't you see that everything over here is going wrong? But and then she said, but no, go this way, go this way. So it's just that little voice inside, that little soft voice that always leads you in the path of least resistance. And I think that if you want to be in the receiving mode more, just listening to that little voice inside, just focus more on things you like to do, give yourself a break, just go to the park more if you like, go painting if you like it, go baking, just more time for things that we really like to do. And what I experienced back then when I had a burnout, like people said to me, do something you like. And I was thinking, I don't know what it is. I was just always working. I don't know what I like. I want to work. So, but then I had to learn from what is it that I really like. And at the moment that I started to do more things I really liked, I felt better and I felt more open. And then the ideas became to me. They just came into my life. I just thought, hey, I could do it like that, or maybe I could do it like that. And it's just a funny thing, because all those things were there before as well, but I didn't see it because I was so busy and so focused on getting more clients or getting more money or doing my absolutely best that I didn't see all the opportunities that were already around me. So it's really change of perspective in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually the Money EQ Masterclass, we had a playbook, and the first page was really about what do I want? And then a big, a line, just fill out the blanks. And many people really stop there. It's like, yeah, so what do I really want? And then, okay, so it's one client. No, shall I go for 10 clients? No, actually 100 clients. But to think big is really not intuitive or just to just to ask myself, okay, so what is my goal? Because we know, okay, I have to earn money, I have to have more clients, I have to do this, I have to do that. And in that, the receiving is just doesn't have space. So
Yes.
it's really unknown
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is maybe you're blocking it already before you know, like, what is it that I want, and you can't even think about it, because before you think about it, then you already say, oh, okay, never mind. It's not, but I have to get clients. So beautiful story, but I have to do this first. And that is just a far premise somehow, because then when is the time? When is the time to really say, okay, what is it that I truly want? And I noticed that when the moment that I really understood what I really want in life, everything became so much more easy. It just came to me. It was like an invisible hand helped you. And before that, if I don't know exactly what I want, every road brings me there. Then I was doing that, and I was doing that, and it was just all over the place. And for me, it really helped to really understand what I want in life. It really helped me to focus, and it really helped me to also to trust, because if you can think it, then there must be a way. There must be a way to get it done. But it's exactly the first step to really understand what it is that you really want. It's sometimes hard somehow to really get that clear for yourself. But yeah, for me, it really took some time. I really had like a few weeks or a few months, because I never asked myself the question before, like, what is it that I want? So I didn't know what it was. So sometimes you have to just give it time to come to you. Just let it in. How was that for you? Was it for you?
Actually, for the masterclass now, because I'm so aware of this issue, so we had success advisors working with us. So that was very cool. Actually, the deadline was by the end of the weekend to sign up. But you know what? This is a bonus call. So whoever wants to comment here in the chat, call. So I'll open a few more spots up again. So we just had the success advisors. All they did was to come in and really help people to get clarity about their goals. Wow. Because that is the one and only thing. It's like a compass. If you don't know where your compass goes, where your purpose is, what your goals are, so you can run around forever and never get there. And that is really, so key to just start and focus first where you go, and the rest is the same.
It sounds really good what you did, like with the success advisors, and that really helped. That's really good. That's really good. That's gold, because there it all starts. If you get clarity on that.
Yes. So for me personally, that was never an issue. I was always very focused and goals. However, I would go full force and sometimes in neutral. So that is me. I knew where I'm going though. And but then what I said before, so I thought I have to do certain things. And only now when I let go and say, I don't have to. So now, right now, I'm in a phase where I really enjoy the let and receive so much that I don't even plan my emails. Like this bonus session, it was very spontaneous. We chatted and we asked, and so I wrote an email to the people on the masterclass just 20 minutes ago. And so that was something that would never have happened before. I need to schedule it, but we need to tell it. So perhaps we should schedule it another day. But here is the opportunity. I just thought it's okay. Let's over deliver. Let's deliver more content. And if I wouldn't have just let this opportunity come in, so most probably we wouldn't have found the time before the Money EQ Mastery closes, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that is exactly that you just the receiving mode, that you just follow your higher just your higher self, and then you get inspired action. And those are just the most beautiful actions, because if you plan it, you just squeeze it all out somehow. But if it's just so, now it's really from your higher perspective, and that is the beauty of it, isn't it? I always love how to see how everything is in nature, and nature is for me so a source of inspiration. I mean, everything is always everything in nature is complete and still nothing is in rush. And I love that so much. And especially when you see, that's also what Abraham sometimes says, like the trees in the fall, in the time like now, and they just let go of the leaves. They just trust completely. They just let go because they can sense that winter is coming and that it is time to let go. And they just completely trust and go back to their core. And then when the spring comes, they will reopen again. And I think that's so beautiful. And we can see so many lessons in how nature does that. Just let go what that doesn't serve you anymore, and just trust that it will come to you.
Absolutely. Actually, also right today, there is one tree that is so super beautiful in spring with the pink big flowers. And today I saw like there is now just 3 leaves left, but I saw that the tree, the branch is ready for the spring.
Oh.
Ready, like I know exactly where the big flowers will sprout out again. And yes, you're so right. I love to work with the universal laws. That's what we also do in Thinking into Results. We work with the law of attraction, the law of growth, the law of reciprocity, which we also covered in the Money EQ Masterclass about the give and receive. You just have to be in a balance of these, that you can't just receive without giving something. So the spark is always, the giving opens kind of the loop. It's like the spark that lights the fire, but then something, the thing that burns or that takes the fire is like you have to receive it. Yes. And so all of those that want to have the more clients or want more money and want whatever the desire is, you just have to let it in.
Yes, that's true. You just have to let it in, and that is really just step 3, like that you say, okay, I let it in, I trust, I asked. And it's just not only Abraham Hicks, but you see Bob Proctor, and in Thinking into Results, it's all coming back, and you see it in all kind of religions. They all say, if you ask, it is given. So that is the beauty of it. You don't have to keep asking. And it's just a beautiful example that if you, for example, go to a restaurant, and then you get a menu, and then you order something from the menu, and then you trust that the kitchen is going to deliver it. You're not constantly asking, is my food coming? Is my food coming? And they would drive them mad. You trust it, it's coming. You ordered it, so it's coming. And that is exactly the same with the receiving mode. Just chill out. If you asked it, it is enough. And of course, it is important that you just keep having that picture of what you have asked. So not looking to the circumstances, but really focus on the picture that you have in your mind of the things that you asked, and then that you just know and can feel that it comes to you. I just feel like sometimes then it isn't not even there, but I just can sense it. Do you know that you just can feel like it is already in the air, that you can just feel in energy, yes, this is coming. This is really coming to me. And another thing that helps me to really stay in the receiving mode is just during the day, I just take time to daydream. So when I have time, like maybe 15 minutes, for example, I just do nothing, put out everything, TV, whatever, and just let it come to me. So I'm not trying to visualize like, oh, this is my dream, but I just ask my higher self to give it to me. And then it is just more beautiful. Then I just have those like a couple of minutes. It's just enough already, but then you really can feel that you let go. That's really nice.
That's also what I so much admire about you. So on the one hand, you're a project manager and you manage, logistics and time and people and everything. So very down to earth. On the other hand, it's just, so at ease and so with flow, with energies. And so that's very special.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the combination of Abraham Hicks and Bob Proctor, because I think Thinking into Results is really a program, and I'm so happy, Nadine, that I have you in that process, because you are such an inspiration for me as well. You really am. You're such a great human being. Yeah, you really are. There's so many times that that it was not so really good with me. And you were always there. You were really someone who is there and really want to help and give advice. And yeah, I really admire how you are and the person that you are always there. You really are. And you have been to a lot in your life. I mean, you told me, and I saw some things on Facebook, and you can really see that. So as a coach, you really have that power to help someone or to really understand where someone is going through. And I think that's a bit of life experience, which is really helpful. So you don't feel like that you don't understand, because you have been through so many things for yourself, and that resonates. You can feel that. So that's really nice. And I think with thinking into results, like what Bob Proctor and such, and if you have a good coach, then it just helps you to be practical as well. And that's what I like about the program so much, that it's not only take action, but it's not only spiritual from, oh, it's all good. It's really a mix. And that makes it such a powerful program.
That's so funny for between the two of us. So you come absolutely from Abraham Hicks, and you kind of needed Bob Proctor to bring it back, you know, to earth, or to make it practical. And I wouldn't have listened to Abraham Hicks if I wouldn't have come through Bob Proctor and thinking into results first, kind of just opening up from the very super analytical me that I just need to first understand. And once I understand, I can open up. And then that was for me the key to understand what Esther Hicks is even talking about. Oh. And because I heard her before, and I just didn't get it. I said, okay, so receive. I was like, okay, I'm receiving, bring it on. Where is the millions? I just asked for them. And I was like, they're not coming. So what's not working? And so, yeah, so Bob had a very good, like, that's the facts. That's how it works. And I was like, okay, that's okay, I'll do it. And that is what opened for me just the first logical understanding of the forces of nature, or the inner powers, the mental faculties. Like, once he described it, it was like so obvious. And from that point, I was like, so intuition, and many decisions since I made by intuition, and they were the best decisions. And
they're the best. They are the best. Yeah, wow, I love that. Yeah, that's so funny. We came from a different side then. Yeah, I like so much, like Abraham Hicks recently, she told me something really new, and it is from her new videos. So I watch them every Sunday. And she was saying, like, she has the emotional guiding skill, and she just says, like, your higher self knows the way, you know. So your higher self knows the way, and it's all feeling. So feelings are the basis. So we create with our feelings. I like that also much. So she said, it doesn't matter what kind of circumstances you are in. So for example, if your relationship is not going well, or you have financial problems, or something else is happening in your life, she said, that is just the circumstance, but it is the feeling that is in the root of it. So if you have feeling of shortness, if you feel shortness in love, or you feel shortness in money, it's the same, because what you feel is shortness. And she has like this emotional skill, and she says, like, it's the best what you can do in every given situation. Just ask yourself, if something happens and you feel negative emotion, just ask yourself, what is it that I feel for emotion? And if you feel like, I feel insecure, or I feel lonely, or I feel sad, or I feel happy, or I feel hopeful, or I feel bored. And if you feel that, and she said, just really own that feeling for a moment, just own it. And then try to think of a thought that feels a little bit better, just a little bit better. And if you just think of a thought that feels a little bit better, you can always find something that feels just a little bit better. And if you feel that, you can say, okay, well, maybe it's sad, but it's for now. It's for now, nothing lasts forever. You feel a little bit better. And if you are there, you can find a thought that feels a little bit better. And so you can make yourself up in the emotional scale. So you can just feel a little bit better every time. And at the moment that you release a negative feeling, you are also in the receptive mode. So the more resistance you let go, the more you can let in. So that's just, I like it so much, because now every day if something happens, I really try to understand for myself, what is it that I'm feeling and how can I make my feelings a little bit better?
Yes.
And then you're going up.
Yes.
And then of course,
I had to learn it when I felt really short of money. So I felt like in my heart and in my throat, I felt, how it's called, like strangled. And I felt I couldn't spend even $1 on, I don't know, coffee, gifts, like food that I wanted a little bit. So I was like very putting this scarcity on myself and this fear all the time. And then I started the process of just take inventory, like very open. What do I really have? I mean, if I now spend this $1 or not, I still have a home, I still have my bed, I still have my clothes, I still have enough to live. And just this, okay, there is enough. That was for me the turning point of, okay, there is enough. I can give that $1 away. I can do this. I can buy this. Like, it's okay. I'm working. Things are happening. So it's getting better and better. So that is also something I really like from the book, Think and Grow Rich, when he explains how money is like a water, like a stream. And then people, in order to stay at the place where they are right now, they have to swim upstream. That's why we work hard, right? Because you have to paddle a lot in order to stay at the very same spot. And it's really scary and frightening to just let go and not swim upstream. So this is the most difficult, because when you really succeed to turn around and be in the flow, so you'll understand, oh, that's really cool. That is abundance. That is prosperity. That is what I have been looking for. So this just, I have to turn around, or I do now turn around. It's a decision. That's why also Bob always said everything in this is a decision. And also the meaning of this, I just understand it with every decision. I understand it better and better.
Yeah, that's true. It's true, yeah, and that's so beautiful what Bob Proctor indeed, and I think that's so beautiful in thinking into results. It really helped me to understand what you say as well. Like, if we can, how can you say, we can think like there is shortness, but it doesn't exist. There is no shortness. The fact that we have lack of money doesn't mean that there is not enough money. There's enough money in the world. I learned that from thinking into results. There's enough money in the world. That you are having shortness is because you're thinking thoughts of shortness, and that's why we develop it. But there is enough, and I thought that exactly when my recently my relationship with my husband was not so really good, and we broke up. And in that period of time, I just thought when he left, I thought, oh, the love is going away. And I really had to change that perspective, because we were together for 20 years. And for 20 years, he was my big love. He was the love of my life. And my love came through him. I felt like he was my source of love. And at the moment that he said, I want to stop, I want to go in another direction, I thought I lost my love. And I really had to change that belief, and it took me some time. It took me some weeks, and you really helped me with that as well, Nadine, because I was really, really sad. And I also knew right away in my heart, the moment he said it to me, I felt right away, it's good, let it go. But I thought in my heart, let it go. But my conscious mind thought, no, he's not going anywhere. What is this happening? And it was just something inside myself, but I really looked inside, what does this mean? And I rediscovered that I thought that my love was coming from him, but the fact that he said, I'm going in another direction, I reconnected with my own source. I understood again, and that's also what Abraham Hicks helped me, like, love comes from source. Love does not come from another person. And if another person is in your life and it gives you love and you give love to that other person, that is beautiful, because you are on the same frequency, you are giving love to each other, there's harmony. But if that person decides to go in another way, it doesn't mean that you don't have the love anymore, because love was also coming from source. And that is just with everything in the universe. Like Bob also say in like thinking into results, like money is not coming through from clients. Like money is not coming from clients or from anywhere. Money is coming from source as well. And there are multiple ways that source can give you the money. And there are multiple ways that source can give you the love. But you have to make the relationship with yourself the most important. So the relationship with source has to be the most important. And if you put that first and you feel good, then everything else will fall into place. It will all just work out. It's just, yeah.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's really what I also saw. And someone on the masterclass, she's a consultant for or a coach for couples that want to refuel their relationship. And so it just made me think how the give and receive, the law of give and receive, is so true for money, for love, like, or any kind of relationship, also for myself, right? Because if I want to give to my clients, I also have to receive or first give to myself. I cannot teach something unless I do it myself, unless I feel that, hey, I have it here so I can give it out again, and then I receive the feedback. So that is really always the law of giving. They just go together for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that receiving and giving is kind of the same frequency.
Yes.
It has the same. If you can, you can feel that. So yeah, that's really.
So it's also the question, or what can be named as what brings it together, is also the worthiness, which go both for asking the price if you have a business, or raising a salary, so just to know and realize how much I'm really worth, and to also say, look, this is what I do, this is what I can give you, and this is what it costs, without hesitating, because I know that the value I give, I should ask for my programs for tens of thousands, because it's literally life-changing. And yet I know that not always people will have that in their wallets. So there is something like that, that they also feel that, hey, this is something really valuable. And so we spoke about value a lot. But on the other hand, also with love, you can only give and receive money if you love if you feel worthy of love.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. That's really beautiful that you all discussed that during the masterclass. Sounds like it.
And it's also, if you have, for example, you have it works well for you in one of these. So just feel yourself into how it's working and translate it to the other thing. So if you have a very good relationship with yourself and with your husband or partner, so it's like, okay, so how can I build a relationship with money in the same way? Or the same, if you have an abundance of money, so what do I do that works really well there, and how can I translate it to relationships with friends and family?
That's a great tip. That's a great tip. Yeah, because with money, it's just also a funny thing, because money is also just energy, and we have all those kind of ideas about money, like it's good or it's bad, or I don't have it, or I don't want it, or of course I do want it, but I say I don't want it. So there is just a lot of things going on around money, what it makes it sometimes so very complicated. And I love what Bob Proctor always says, like, if you don't make the decision that, for example, you want to buy the house, you could say, I can't afford a house. But he said, yes, but if you don't make the decision that you want a house, then you will never have the money. You have to make the decision first. This is what I want. This is where I'm going for. And then trust again that it will come to you. Just follow then your intuition, follow your higher self. That's exactly what I should do, Dan. Like, what feels good? What feels good? Just, I love that about Abraham as well. She say, it's just so weird that somehow we have learned that if something feels good, it's not good. And if it feels bad, you should do it. I said, that's never the case. You just do what really feels good. Just trust your higher self, trust your guiding system. If it feels good, it could work for you. Just figure it out, just play with it.
So why do you think are many people only taking action when it's kind of too late, or when the situation is already where, like after breakup, or after they don't have money, or after the business crashed, or just after anything, when they just really become aware of the problem?
Yeah, I think it's based on fear that we are already digging ourselves in, like and then we think, yeah, okay, there's no way back. There's no way back. Because we do blind size on and we just go on. And also it's the law of polarity. If you focus on the bad things, you can see the good ones. So the more that you are focused on, okay, it's not going well, COVID is here, for example, the economy is going bad, the more that you are focused in that direction, the less you can see the other side. But the other thing, what I love so much about the law of polarity, is that if something is really, really bad, that means that the opposite is really, really good, because the one can't exist without the other. Dus the worse that you feel, then just know there must be something really, really big in store for me, because there must be. I mean, if I'm just a meter from the wall is a meter from me, then the wall to me is a meter as well. There's no other way. So I think that sometimes we are so focused on what is going wrong or just so focused on the circumstances that we don't really open up for the possibilities. Because yeah, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. So there is always possibility in everything, but sometimes we have just to step back, like what you said, like the receiving mode, just step back. And then I just love like the example that, and I have to say it right in English, but I heard at someone that if you just have a oil painting on your wall and you just stand for the oil painting just with your nose against the painting, then it's not really a beautiful painting, because the only thing what you see is a couple of lines, and you could say, this is just terrible. I don't like this painting at all. So if you take a look at your life that way, just the circumstances, and you say, oh, this is just a mess. Yeah, that's because you're too close up. And sometimes you just have to step back. And if you step back and you see the whole painting and you think, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And your higher self knows the whole painting. That knows the whole painting. So that's just trusting again. Like what I said before, like when my husband said, like, I'm going, I felt conscious. I thought, oh no, this is terrible. But in my heart and in my intuition, I felt right away, let it go. Let it go. Because if someone decides that, you can't decide for other people. So everyone is free. You are free, I am free, everyone is free. You can decide for other people. And the sooner you let that go, the sooner what will connect with you can come to you. So it's just, yeah.
I so admire you for that, because so many people would just be so heartbroken, and I'm sure you had that phase, but like how to stand on top of it and just to say, okay, it is what it is. And in order to be open for the new things or to receive something better, you kind of have to clean the space there. And that's so beautiful to look at it from the receiving mode.
Yes. Well, I think I learned from the whole experience that to reconnect with source. Because there is where all the good comes from. That was
for me true when I had my financial breakdown. Like I wouldn't be today, I wouldn't have invested in Bob Proctor, I wouldn't be teaching what I'm teaching, I wouldn't be so aware of all these blocks or of all these concepts if I hadn't really fall hard. And then it's like, wow, how could I have prevented it? And it doesn't even matter how could I have, because that's the situation. And I was so literally with zero, nothing money. And I was like, okay, so let's take inventory of what I have. Okay, there is very nice flowers outside. I do have my family. I have happy kids. Let's just also, just for the kids, pretend everything is okay. And that was the point that I started to be so super excited and grateful for everything that we had. And I was like to the kids, hey, look at this flower. Hey, look, because they were, you know, not so many things you could do for free, but suddenly I was looking only, what can we do for free? So nature is so abundant, so beautiful, and so many things to be excited about. So that was just amazing. And that is what, like, I knew gratitude before, but before it was something like mechanical. And just when I lost everything, I was like, oh, so that is what gratitude is, when I just could really appreciate every little thing. And when we had an ice cream, it was like a big thing. And so it was, but it was very hurtful first to not be able to afford an ice cream for my kids. I was like, oh. But then I was like, then I could make a celebration out of ice cream. And before, when we had enough money and everything, before everything happened, so we just had an ice cream.
Yes.
Nothing special. Exactly. So that is so, and that's why I can also tell, and I tell people on the mastery, on the Money EQ Mastery, I can make them rich instantly. And that's just because if you take inventory of everything you have, like how beautiful is that? So suddenly I'm so rich. I mean, I have a plant here, I have a chair here, I have so many things. I have a roof. I mean, I have food, so I'm so rich.
Yes, it's absolutely true. And besides that, your higher being is already living the life of your dreams.
Yes.
So it's already there. You asked it, so it is already there. It is already there. So if we don't see it yet in our physical environment, it doesn't mean that it not exists. And I think that is what you're saying is like deliberate creation, that if you don't see it yet in your physical experience, but you know that it is coming and you trust that it is coming, that's 100% receiving mode. Yes. That's gratitude. Gratitude is like the highest energy that you can have. And I just had like the same thing what you're describing, that the moment that my husband said I'm going, I was lying in my bed and I thought, this is the worst that could ever happen to me. And I was just lying there and I was like lying, and it was like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes. And then I thought, I'm still breathing. I'm still living. I think it's not even that bad. Everything is still working. So it sounds silly, but I felt like the most worst thing that could happen, that happened. And I was just still there. So it gave me so much perspective. I thought, I'm still here. I'm okay. I can do this, you know. I Source is still there with me. I'm not alone. So it was just, and if I look back to it, it was just maybe such a good experience for me, because it really helped me to see that sometimes we can make things in our head so really worse. And when it eventually happens, then you're still standing. We are just so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And what you say with the ice cream, that is just so beautiful, because normally you say, here, ice cream. Oh, they want an ice cream. Yeah, okay, ice cream, yes. And now you really felt it, you know. That is life. That is just life going through you, that you really can feel like, wow, that I'm gonna do this with my family, and we can have this moment together. That's truly living. I really like that so much.
And also it lets you refocus on what we said before. What do you really want?
Yes.
So that's also like, do I want ice cream? Do I want ballet classes? Do I want this? And then it's also to know, never go for an or. Just ask the question, how can I make it happen that I can have everything?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Not or, but and. Yes.
Exactly. So very focused on what do I want, and then let's make also, I would say, an inventory list. But on the Masterclass playbook, we had a list of 50 things. What do you want? Wow. And I'm so sure that of the list, if you put a list of 50 things, what do you want? That you can absolutely start with a couple of them right now. You don't need money, you don't need time, you don't need circumstances, you don't need anything. Just make a decision to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
And once you get into the energies of, hey, I didn't even think I can do it, but hey, how cool that I can do it. And then you can do more because you get the courage, you get into the doing mode, you get the everything is possible, you know, mindset or belief. Like you get belief because now you start doing what you really want. Because you first have your goal, you have your compass, and then you get into the energies of it.
Yeah, and it is source energy that is going through you at that moment. I heard someone told me, or I read it someone, like just that example of, there was a time there was just a little boy who was trying to play the piano, and he looked a bit frustrated. And then someone asked him, like, what is it? And then he said, like, I can hear the melody in my mind, but I can't find the right thing to play yet. And I just thought that is just source that wants to live through us. And everything we want in our life, we just want that because it is just living. It is sources for more fulfillment, more expression, more living. You know, you see that everywhere in nature as well. So it's just really beautiful. If you start with what you really want, it's just it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's all getting bigger, everything. Yeah.
So beautiful. So we have people here live on the call if you want to ask Liesbeth questions. So that's a wonderful idea to write it now. There is a bit of a delay from the Zoom that we're on to Facebook, so it will be about 20 seconds or so. So let's continue. Let's see if there is some questions for you coming in.
Yes, we'll do that. Yeah, so that is just what I so liked about the combination is that I loved very much that Bob Proctor is just really practical, and I just loved the assignments that he gave in thinking into results. It really keeps you thinking, and it really sets you to work as well, and it really helped me to move beyond my own. Yeah, maybe I didn't even know that I had my limitations, but he just puts you out of your comfort zone somehow, you know, but not too far that you think you will drown, but just far enough that you really see that your mind, that your world is growing and expanding. And yeah, God, that's what I really so much loved about it.
What I love about it is also that it's like a toolbox, and then always when there is a new situation, so I go and get my toolbox, and then, okay, what kind of tool do I choose for this thing? And really, so I did many of the exercises again and again and again and again, because like there's always new circumstances, always new desires, new plans, also new challenges. And once you understand not what to think, but how to think,
exactly.
Like, oh, that's easy, I can do it. Yeah,
it's really true. And I recently just went back to one of the first pages, and I just wrote down what I wanted then, and I just read it, and I was thinking, oh, I have it now. It was just so funny to see. I just saw it in my own writing. I would like to have this, I would like to change that, and I was, oh, this is changed. How is it even possible? It's just so really nice to see. Then you think, wow, this is really, really working. So yeah, really powerful. Yeah.
So beautiful. So let me check if there, okay, I don't think a question came in. You can also, if you're on the email list, you can also send it there and we can answer it later. And if you want to have your goal setting call, so I'm opening it up tonight again, reach out to your success advisor or just type here in the comment. Also, if you want to know more about thinking into results that we have been mentioning, so, and the Money EQ Mastery is linked in the comments, so that is there for you. And all we really desire is that you find your path and your voice and your energies. Like people can come in and you can read and see and watch and listen so many things and all the time, and books are really good for shelf help. But the one thing that counts is how and when and are you using this knowledge? Are you implementing it? And it's just so beautiful. Like from my own experience, I can just recommend do it. it's life-changing. It really is.
Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely life-changing. Really it is, because I already read so many books before I started doing this, but when this program had really changed my life. And I'm over it now for the third.
Oh, nice.
And I constantly hear new things, and some things I can just talk with Bob the same sentence. I know which sentence he's gonna say, and then I'll say it after him. And it's still so powerful, so powerful. It's really a great. It really changed, because it changed you. It just changed the way you think. It changed the way you view the world, how you view yourself. For me, I really learned to see myself in a different way. So it's, yeah, that is really powerful. And other people, and I just can let go more, let other people live their life, and I live my life, and all my relationship became even more beautiful, because maybe I was more centered for myself, so I don't need anything from them anymore. And then they like that even more. So it's more like you give and receive, but it's not like you're strangling each other. Like, stay with me, I need you, and you say, yes, you stay with me, I need you. You just understand that that's not the case. What you need is source, and what you need is alignment with yourself and alignment with source. And if two people are in line with source, and then you come together, that's like magic. That is amazing. Then you have like the most amazing friendships or relationships. So I think if I would say what the best thing I took from thinking into result is, for me, that my relationship really developed so much better, that I really understand the concept of it better, and it just helped me to be free, to let others free, and free myself.
Oh, so beautifully said. Thank you so much. So, Liesbeth, you're really a true inspiration. Thank you so much for joining us on this call. I will pin this to the units in the Facebook group, so people can watch it and rewatch it, because that was really so many gold nuggets that you gave all of us in this hour. So thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much, Nadine. I'm really happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for everything. Okay.
Have a wonderful rest of the evening.
Yes, you too. Bye.